Okay, now we have to go ahead and create a toolpath and a 3D rendering. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have this 2D view and I want to have a 3D view simultaneously. So we go ahead over here to this option where it says arrange views vertically as non-overlapping windows. So we're gonna select that. As you can see, now I have a 3D view along with the 2D view. Now we're gonna have to go ahead and select the objects that we want to create as a vector. Okay, so we're gonna have to hold down the shift key and we're gonna select the inner ellipse and all the text. Okay, now when you're selecting it, you got to make sure that you're holding down the shift key and then using the left click on the mouse. So now that we've created vectors, what we want to do with this particular project is we want to create a pocket and then we want to create a bevel around the words. So basically all the material around the words is going to be removed, leaving only the words that's left over, and then we want to make a cutout on the outside of the outer ellipse so that we have a 1/4 inch lip left over also. Okay, now the paint scheme on this is going to be red and white, so the actual material I've painted completely red. Okay, so when it removes the material is actually white. It's going to leave the white left over, which is going to have the scheme that I want, which is red and white. So let's go ahead and go to toolpaths. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to select V-carve. So let's select that. Starting depth is 0, flat depth is 0.1, so it's not quite 1/8 of an inch, but it's deep enough. The tool, as you can see here, there's an illustration of a V bit. It's 90 degrees and it's a 1/2 inch. Let's go ahead and select that. It's already selected here. All the numbers look good as far as like the passing depth. So the passing depth is the same as the finished depth. So in this case, it would just take one pass to do this tooling. Okay. Let's see here. The speed rate is good. The feed rate is good. And the tool number is good. Okay. So the tool number, you need that most likely if you have a tool change set up on your machine that's programmed into your machine. I happen to have a fast tool change program where all of these programs are set into one file. Okay. And then I'd have to number the tools, but if you don't have it, you have to create separate files for this entire process, and it takes 3 separate processes to finish this particular project. And we're going to be using 2 different bits. Okay, so this is this number 2 bit for my case, but at the end I'll explain it more, but for right now this is bit number 2. We're going to click OK. Then here it says use flat area clearance tool. You gotta select that because this is the tool that's going to take out most of the material. It's an end mill bit. It's a 1/4 inch. So we're going to choose that. Here end mill 0.25, 1/4 inch. All these parameters are pretty good. The passing depth is pretty much the same as the finished depth, and it's going to do it in one pass pretty much. This tool number is going to be tool number 1. That's the first bit we're going to use. We're going to click OK, and now we're ready to calculate. It's going to create the toolpaths, and there you have it. We want to change the name here, the name of these tools that we're using, or toolpaths. And as you can see, there's an illustration of the type of bit that's going to be used. So obviously this one here is going to be an end mill bit. We want to change this name of the toolpath to pocket, since that's what it's pretty much creating, pocket. And then we want to change this V-carve name, not entirely, but we're just going to remove the 1 and we're going to leave it as V-carve. So now we won't be as confused. So now we're going to go ahead and preview all the toolpaths. And there you go. If you wanted to slow down the speed to actually see how the tool is gonna move, or the path that it's gonna take, you can actually slow the speed down. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, slow the speed down. I'm gonna reset the toolpaths here so there's nothing on the material surface, and I'm gonna select preview all toolpaths, and as you can see, it shows you the path the tool is going to take to create what was programmed here. Okay, the next thing I want to do is, the material surface is completely red, but the part where it's cutting out the material, that's going to be white, right? So we want to change that color. So we're going to go ahead and select pocket. Okay, and then it gives us an option here. It says toolpath color. We want to select white. And as you can see, it colors all in white the path that this pocket tool is going to take, and then it actually leaves in red what it's not removing. So the V-carve bit is going to remove the rest of the red. We're going to turn that to white as well. So we're going to go over here where it says toolpath color. We're going to select V-carve, and then we're going to select the white color. And that's pretty much the finished project here. So we're going to get closer here. As you can see, there's a bevel, and this is actually the color of the material. The material is actually going to be white. We're going to be using PVC sheet, so it's actually like a plastic type of material. Same stuff that they use PVC pipes with, most likely. And that's it.